Welcome back to the channel. Today, I wasn't planning on filming, but I have a 1641. It came in. Yesterday, I took apart two 1440s, trying to get the yard cleaned up a little bit. I have a lot of machines that are starting to come in. It's getting towards fall time, and I'm going to remove this 1641 motor. Even the steering wheel's broke on this machine. Some of the lines are already disconnected, but I'm going to show you how simple it is. I am going to remove the firewall on the top portion of it, because I want them two bolts right there, them 1/4-inch bolts. And the reason why I save all my hardware, and I recommend you do the same. For all my projects, I use nice shiny hardware. I have a bolt bin, but I rather use the OEM bolts as much as possible. Now this motor here, believe it has a broken rod in it. Most of these Stratton & Briggs come in for that same reason. They just didn't have enough block. I don't think they carried enough oil with them to prevent that issue when they get hot. And they seem to suck in a lot of dirt on the back of the flywheel side, because most of these Stratton & Briggs, when you tear them apart, are just gummed up really bad in that area back there. But I'm going to put you in the stand. This is going to be unedited. We're going to disconnect the controls first. Right here's the throttle, right here's the choke, and we'll make progress. This job doesn't take very long. I realize the hood's off in it, and this isn't a complete tear down, but it'll give you a general idea how to do it. I try to take apart at least one machine a day here. And we're going to get that disconnected. And I'm actually going to run the cable right straight through, and I am going to put it in the bottom. Going to put this part here back, the keeper. And the reason why I'm going to put the keeper back, I have a lot of people that come in for hardware, controls of every nature. So you just never know what somebody's going to be coming in for daily. Now, you didn't have to take them all the way out, but I will say you'll struggle with it a little bit if you don't on a Briggs & Stratton. Not so much on a Kohler, but you will on a Briggs & Stratton. These Cyclops machines, these 1440s, 1641s, are starting to come in at a very rapid pace. I bet you I'm buying 1641s. About one a week, sometimes even more. The reason I like them to come in, because I like the 30mm axles. On a 1641, I like the hydraulic controls. So we're going to be a little bit tighter in this area right here. Actually going to use a wrench made by Crescent Tool. Crescent Tool is a local company here in Jamestown, New York. I have a lot of old tools because we had Proto Tool here too, so I have some Proto tools. I like Craftsman wrenches because they were made just north of us in Buffalo area. Like, I'm going to save this hardware right here, put it right there. I'm going to disconnect it right here. Then we're going to move the camera. And we're going to go to the other side, start dismantling that. Just work your way around. We're going to unhook the starter next. That's a 1/4-inch stud, so it'll take a 7/16. That one's a little tight in that area with that there. The starter's loose in that. That was probably some of the issue. When you're putting these starters in, sometimes it's best just to pull the whole motor on these. These were a little bit more complicated. If you don't get the starter in straight, you'll ruin. This is one motor you will sell a flywheel for. You will, because it'll take the starter ring gear right off of them. If you're ever around Macland, stop in, please. I have a lot of people on YouTube that stop in. I apologize on my email. I don't get to it very often. There's just so much going on per day. Wow. There she goes. Now we're going to take this top of the firewall right out. We're already unhooked on the gas. We're going to run the ground cable through. This is the green wire that goes to your ground up by your solenoid usually. So we should have all the wires. I realize that this isn't a complete teardown like I said before. Now we're going to start taking out the bottom bolts. I'm not sure if they're all in, but we're going to have one here, here, and right underneath the axle. They're 3/8 bolts. Once you pull a few of these motors, it's just a walk in the park. One thing nice about a Cyclops, the way the later ones, the earlier ones use more like axle out of an 82 series. The later ones have a little bit of a swept down axle. You can get right in there and get the bolts right out. Now we don't have to pull the drive shaft on a Cyclops, and you're going to see that in just a few seconds here. That's one really, these were the last of the IH design. They really improved. The only thing bad about a Cyclops, they did look nicer, I'll have to admit. But the plastic on them was a little bit of an issue. There's no question about it. It's going to be a little bit tighter down here next to the steering rod. Do have to get the electric clutch disconnected. Now we'll get that disconnected right there. It's going to be a little bit of a tight one. And she's disconnected. Now the harness, we are going to pull it through. Make sure she should be loose. And I believe we're ready to pull it. Now these are a lot lighter than an M18, so I can pick them right up and take them right out of there. And there we go. She's removed. We did it at about 10 minutes. It doesn't take very long to do it. So thank you so much for following me. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And if you have any suggestions, please email. My sister does read my email. So if it's really something that needs to be addressed immediately, she will get to it. So everyone have a great day, and we'll see you on the next video.